Switching gears now, the government has promised to enact a Freedom of Information Act. While some steps have been taken towards this becoming a reality, a local tech expert shares why this probably won't come to fruition anytime soon. The call continues for the government to enact a Freedom of Information Act that will grant the public a general right of access to records held by a public authority subject to certain exemptions. When the act is fully enforced, every Bahamian citizen, permanent resident, and registered company in the Bahamas will have a right to obtain access to a record other than any exempt record. C. Alan Johnson says there has been many promises to fully enact this Freedom of Information Act. However, that is yet to happen.
We have conversation about freedom of information, but you cannot have freedom of information without first digitizing the entire governmental department. You can't have freedom of information without going to the archives and file and digging it up in boxes and information. So there has to be a digitization project for the entire government ministry. The Freedom of Information Act itself must reflect the digital reality of today's environment, something that we're not having a conversation on. We've been promised a Freedom of Information Act by subsequent governments.
No FOIA has ever been fully enacted in the Bahamas. However, a revamped version was passed under the Christie administration in February 2017. In 2018, the Bahamas moved one step closer as the government announced that corporations and agencies will have to go through extensive training that is set to cost around $1 million before the act is fully implemented. The trainings began that year. It was also reported that the act will go into effect in phases in the Bahamas in order to ensure that all the preparatory work and training that is necessary to fully implement the regime are in place. Johnson shares why the FOIA is important.
Now, a lot of people make focus on what government is spending, what government is doing. Freedom of information is absolute access in totality to governance, and that is where we have not moved anywhere towards that. We keep focusing on an accountability aspect of governance as opposed to the fullness of what freedom of information is.
He says this government has promised transparency and accountability, and he believes that this starts with the Freedom of Information Act.
Freedom of information creates the environment where it brings accountability. Information becomes a powerful source of being able to make a determination as to the direction government is doing. You can see irregularities in what has been said and what has been done. You'll even notice things out of place that is contrary to the information that has been said to be done. You will see where freedom of information, where contractors given to do a particular thing, and you can look at it and say, no, these are not being fulfilled. So it's an integral part of integrity. It's an integral part of transparency and accountability.
The CEP and people that come into the country.